Guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm with Matt Floyd. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Thanks for having me, bro.
I know about your career. I follow your Instagram page and everything. I saw about the BKFC thing that happened. For the people that don't know about your career, your overall career, could you let them know?
Uh, like with everything that I've done.
Yeah, everything you've done, if possible.
So I'm a pro boxer. I did everything on my own, like no team, no manager. I traveled like different countries. I had a lot of issues, obviously fighting in West Australia where I'm from because I spent a lot of time in prison here for kidnapping pedophiles. Um, so I've had to travel. I've had to do everything the hard way. I'm 15 wins and 2 losses, like on my box rec, but we believe I'm 17-0. Like if you know my story, like I had a fight in Thailand, which was controversial. Like I won pretty much every round, for a world title, and just things like that. Obviously, the way I've gone about my career, done everything the hard way. I've obviously faced controversy in other countries and had, a couple losses that we believe, like one of them fights was outrageous. It got overturned, and because it's so corrupt, the Thai Commission, they haven't even overturned it themselves, even though it got overturned by like the world. It's just, yeah, it's a long story in itself, but I was trying to do everything the hard way, but it was, yeah, and then I just somehow got into the celebrity boxing scene in England. I was supposed to fight Darren Till, then we became friends, and then I ended up fighting Shane Mosley, and then I got, then I headlined the BKFC against James DeGale.
So you're 16-0, but you only lost to BKFC.
The BKFC fight, we obviously like even the stats, like we won that fight as well. Like I hit him 90 times to
Yeah.
45. Like I hit him twice as many times. I dropped him twice. I should have knocked him out. Every time, all the marks on my face were pretty much just from like when the referee was holding me and he's having free shots on my face. The BKFC even pretty much apologized to me, like the main guy, like in Europe, and
Con-
because he was it. Sorry.
Conor McGregor apologized.
He was there. No. Connor's not like doesn't really run. He's just like the face of the BKFC. Like he's
Uh,
like he doesn't have any. He has got nothing to do with like the people that run it. Like Andrew Bakewell ran the BKFC in Europe, and that fight night, and even he like sent like an apology message. Like the stats don't lie, man. Like shit happens, and I've faced controversy in the past, so it didn't really bother me. Even people that work for the BKFC said like that, like he had his own referee that night. Like there was an English referee that like ref all the other fights, and then we had like one referee just for our fight. Like I was always, you know, um, yeah, it was very, obviously if you've watched the fight yourself, like there's not one person that's actually watched the fight that will say that I've lost. Like, but it doesn't really bother me because it's all part of my story, and like if anything, it's just added to the story. Like it matches my story, like with everything I've gone through as it is, and now I've just been given a big opportunity, obviously. Anyway,
I saw on your Instagram that you said that you thought you won and that you wanted to go an extra round because
no,
yeah,
no, no. What happened was, we had already thought that we won the fight. Like our
exactly.
whole corner,
Yeah.
Connor thought I'd won. We thought I'd won, and I said to Connor, I was like, bro, because I'm like we already know Connor. Obviously, the people that cornered me, they do Connor's corner. So like that coach that was coaching me, like the one you saw in the corner there, that's Connor's coach as well. So
John
we share the
Kavanagh.
same. Sorry, nah, his boxing coach, Phil
Oh,
Sutcliffe. Yeah, yeah. I know. So that's like that guy in the corner that you see there in the yellow shirt. He started Connor off. Like Connor walked into his gym when he was 10 years old. So he was his first coach trainer, and he still coaches him and mentors him today. Um, and they're close. So yeah, we train at the same gym and all that sort of stuff. So I walked up to him and was like, bro, we all thought I won the fight very easily, but I was worried that they were going to call it a draw because it was James DeGale, who's like he's Olympic gold medalist, like he's English, one of their greatest fighters, and it was the fight was set for him to win. So I thought I won like quite easily, but I thought because of the whole James DeGale fighting him in his home turf and all that, we thought would get, they might call it a draw. And I said to Connor, I was like, man, I don't care. Like, we know we won, but like, I'll do an extra round just for fun. Because in BKFC, after what happens if they call it a draw because it's five? Is it five? Yeah, because it's 5 rounds. Say like they give you two, they give someone two, they give it a draw. Say it's a draw that it's undecided, they make you do another round, like a sudden death round. So I was like, just do an extra round, bro. Anyway, that was before they called the fight, and then when they said James had won, it was everyone was like born and, but I don't really care, man. I was like, oh yeah, like because I faced controversy like in the past, like when I was in Thailand against Siramong. I had that all that feeling before, so it wasn't like I wasn't too care. I didn't upset. I knew that it'd probably get more people behind me, it would add to my storyline and journey. It wasn't like like the first time it happened to me in Thailand, I was upset. Like that hurt me. But then, it's happened a few times since. I've always faced controversy my whole life, so it's part of my journey.
I don't wanna touch on it too much, but it's just interesting because I saw it on Instagram. Um, Conor McGregor was interviewing you after the fight. Are you good friends with him? Are you like close with him since you guys have the both same coach for boxing?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we are, and I spend like I'll be back in Ireland in a few weeks, and I've obviously spent a lot of time over there. Like I do all my training there. My mother's from Crumlin. Like I didn't. My mother's from Crumlin, like where Connor's from Crumlin, and yeah, it was all like divine, intervention. Like I went to Ireland by accident. When my journey started in England, I had to go to Ireland by accident. I didn't grow up so much with my mum, so I didn't get sent. Like my mum didn't send me to. I didn't even know she was from the same area as Connor or anything. That just all happened by accident. So that's just like a story within itself, like how I ended up in Ireland and became friends with all them and part of their team now. So that's just like that was all meant to be. Like that's where I was from, and it was very spiritual as well. So I'm not someone that normally believes in all that sort of stuff, but it's like almost undeniable. So many strange things. Even though I end up in Ireland, I wasn't supposed to go there, and I somehow accidentally bumped into all them, and it was where my mother's from, and now we're all the same team, and you know.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I heard what you said at the start, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I just had to talk about the McGregor thing, but the kidnapping pedophiles. Like, thank you for your service, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
What? Tell us the story behind that. Like, I don't know why did you go to jail for that. Like, you're literally protecting the streets.
Because you can't be a vigilante, like. But so when I was a child, I lived in like foster care, and I lived with a pedophile family, and I mean, I've always hated pedophiles, and I think most people do, but obviously I had a lot of trauma, and as a teenager, I was like I would always, if I heard a story about a pedophile or something like that, I'd always try and take action to my own hands, and that evolved as an adult, and it became a bigger thing, and there was a gang of us, and I was the leader, and yeah, we were doing it, pretty much full time, and then obviously I spent the rest of my 20s in prison for it, and I trained my ass off in there. I trained myself all day, every day, and I told everyone I was going to conquer the fight world. It was the boxing world. When I got out, and that's what I'm doing. I don't want kids to follow me and kidnap pedophiles. I get a lot of people, a lot of kids followed me after that, and they all went to prison. And I want kids to do what I'm doing now and reach platforms and raise awareness and talk about it and beat them like the proper way, like what I'm doing now. That's the whole, one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing.
And what do you mean the proper way? Are you still like trying to catch them but without kidnapping them? Like just
Nah, like I'm talking about it, bro. Like I'll do a post now and it could get a million views. I'm reaching the biggest platforms in the world, and I did it. I'm teaching kids that anything can be done, whether you've been in prison, whether you've been abused, whether bad things happen, and I want these kids to be better and to conquer the world. Like it might not be the best fighter in the world, but it might be they want to play football or become the best lawyer in the world. They want to. I want them to beat these guys that way, and also reach platforms and talk about it. Like I know a lot. I know a lot about corruption. I know a lot about like if people give me information about these pedophiles, I can talk about it, and that's how we stop them. Raise awareness, let everyone know about them, and stuff like that. Rather than, I'm sure I could go kidnap 20 or 30 more pedophiles and spend the rest of my life in prison. But then what? So I
exactly.
don't think it's the way to go, and I'm trying to teach. I want kids to reach platforms and become the best of themselves, and I know that they can. with self belief, and I'm living proof.
Well, how many years did you spend? Because I think that's kind of ridiculous that you get in trouble for that. Like, I genuinely think, like, even if you kidnap them, like, they were gonna do something to the children. Like, how does the government not just say, like if I was in the government, like, I know this sounds ridiculous, like, oh, if I was in the government, but bro, I give you a fucking award, bro. I just say don't do it again, and I give you a fucking award, bro. Like, at that point, I don't know how they can put you in jail for protecting the children, bro. It's
I
ridiculous.
actually became friends with your chief police, your chief. He's the chief of police of New York or New Jersey. I met him at Connor's bar, and he gave me these cat. He's actually in the FBI. He had an FBI badge. He gave it to me in the end, and I was on my Instagram. If you go a bit further down, and he was a good man. He said the same thing. He was like, "Man, I'm the chief of police. Like, if you did that in America, man, I would have fucking given you a pass."
That's sick, bro. You're actually a
He's
hero.
friends. Well, he's friends with Donald Trump, and he's like he
What?
literally like has Donald Trump in it. He has Donald Trump in his phone, bro, and he's like, "Oh fucking," he's like, "Man, yeah, you'd be given a pass, man." He goes, "I couldn't see." He goes, "Donald Trump would be the same as well," and all that. He's also friends with fucking what's his name, Joe Rogan. He said if I come to America, he'll try and get me on the Rogan podcast.
Bro, that'd be so sick, bro. That'd actually be so
Yeah.
sick. Bro, you're a hero, bro. But I don't want to touch too much on it because we want to touch on your boxing career. When is the next boxing bout?
So I'm co-main event on Misfits in Manchester. Um,
Oh yeah, I
I
saw.
thought, I thought we're gonna fight Tommy, man. I obviously pitched hard for it. I even spoke to John Fury a few times, and we were close, but it didn't happen. But everything's meant to be. Like Anthony Taylor's still a good fight, bro. It's for the title as well, the world title, Misfits world title. And I'm happy with the fight they've given me. I've got a 3-fight contract with Misfits, so I'll beat him anyway, and then everything's supposed to happen, the way it's supposed to happen.
You were supposed to fight Tommy Fury. What, he didn't want to fight or what?
Yeah, we think we're close to getting it. Nah, I think he would. I think the money wasn't right, and there's obviously a lot more to it. It's not just about people ducking people like everyone thinks. There's a lot more to it. I think he would fight me. His dad said he would. I haven't spoke to Tommy, but I've spoke to the dad a few times, and I think he would fight me, man. I think it was just other things didn't align. But I'm close now. I'm right there. I think I beat AT and I'm the co-main and Tommy fights after me. And you never know, like anything can go, wrong in this fight. Like Eddie Hall might not want to fight him in the end, and I think that will be, it'll be me that will step up. I don't really care. People like you're chasing Tommy. I'm not chasing Tommy. I don't give, two fucks about Tommy. I'm chasing
Yeah.
his platform. Like he's been, given a platform. I think he's an all right boxer. He's certainly not one of the best in the world, but he's got a good platform, and I just want to take that off him. And I only want to take that off him so I can fight, someone like Jake Paul, and I only want to fight him to take his platform because I really want to fight the best fighters in the world. And I was doing it the slow way, like I should have been 17-0 fighter. Um, and that would have taken, I would have had to go to, 10 other countries, probably get robbed in a few more to have a chance of fighting, the top 10 or top 5 fighters in the world. So I was lucky to get onto this celebrity boxing path because you beat your Tommy Furies and that, and then you can offer out your, Canelo Alvarez and that. You got much higher chance of getting someone like that because you're on that platform now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm using these guys' platforms, not for the money fights because it's all about legacy to me, and I'm doing it, the quickest way possible.
But they're not on your level, no. The Anthony Taylor's not on your level. Because if you're trying to fight high level guys, like Anthony Taylor's
Yeah,
like nobody. He just
Anthony Taylor's. Jake Paul is, man. I think Jake Paul's a very good fighter. I think he's on the level that people don't give him. People that don't understand fighting don't. He is on that level. People think, oh, because he's a YouTuber, he's not, man. Like Mike Tyson at 14 started training, and he became the greatest of all time at 20. And a lot of fighters have got the same sort of stories. I know Tyson's. It's hard to use him as a comparison because he's a freak, of nature. But Jake Paul started 8 years ago now. I was saying he's got all this money. He's obviously got the right mindset, and he's been trained. There's no reason why he couldn't become. I'm not saying he's the best in the world at the moment, but he's definitely a top 10, top 20 in the world fighter. And so like he's good. Tommy, wouldn't beat Jake Paul today. But Tommy's a good fighter too. He's just not. He hasn't got the heart. He's not his brother, but he's people can train and train and train and get to top 20, top 50 or whatever, and that's what Tommy is. Tommy would never become the best because he hasn't got the heart. But he's obviously trained and he's got the family behind him, and he's been training every day since he was a boy. But he will never ever make it to the top because you can see in his eyes he hasn't got that heart.
I have two more questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you said Tommy Fury with the Jake Paul thing. If Jake Paul is actually a good boxer, how did Tommy Fury beat him? And second question, I'll ask after.
So that was years ago, bro. So a lot's happened in the last few years. Jake would have only been halfway through at that stage. He would have only been boxing for about 4 years or something at that stage. So he wasn't quite there yet. Jake's improved like dramatically since then. He's a lot better than then. And Tommy been around a long time, and it was still a close fight, man. It shouldn't have been that close, only a few years in for Jake. And that's why, man. Jake's got a lot better since then. Training for a few more years since is a massive difference. And he's had big fighters. He fought Chavez Jr., man, who's a good fighter, man. He was a world champion, and I know all these, like people that don't know Jake and that they criticizing that, but I know, I fought Shane Mosley, that was Jake's trainer up until he fought Nate Diaz. And BJ Flores, I spoke to him about Jake, who used to train Jake as well. So I've spoken to his sparring partners. I spoke to Chavez. I spoke to the people that fought him and actually know. And everyone says he's great, man. The way he trains, his mindset, he's strong. So the people that actually know have told me how good he is. So that's what I go by. I don't go by these million people on the internet, bro, who don't know anything. You know what I mean?
He would fuck up KSI, be honest, like honestly.
Yeah, today he would, I reckon, but that's just opinion as well. KSI obviously trains all right. I don't know anyone that's with KSI, so I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't really know. But yeah, Jake, I think Jake would beat all of them today. I think I'd beat Jake today, but he would beat all of them.
And last question. I apologize for touching on this topic again, but I'm interested. Do you think you would have gone to jail for that long if the Trump administration that is today was in charge?
Well, according to my mate, that's the chief of police that knows Trump. He reckons no, so I have to go by what he says.
Yeah.
And no, I don't reckon. I reckon if he knew the full story, I don't think you'd. No, there's no way he would. Put me in jail for it. I probably would have got a medal, but everything happens for a reason, man. And me spending time in prison was good for me. I'm not a saint. Just because I was kidnapping pedophiles doesn't mean I haven't done bad things in the past as well. I always believe that I've tried to do the right thing. I always believe, like I've stole from the rich and given to the poor. But in saying that, like no one's perfect, man. We're all bad people trying to be good. So I definitely I think everything happens for a reason, and the time that I got helped me, and I made the most of it, and I am who I am today because of it. So yeah, but in saying that, yeah, if I to answer your question, I don't think Trump would have put me in prison for it. No.
Well, you're a hero, at least in our hearts, man. Like honestly, bro. Like you're protecting the streets, so I don't know. I think you're a hero, but I think all the people think you're a hero. I think just the legal system is just fucked. That's why. But it is.
Yeah, it is, man. But I think we're run by it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I think we are because I got like the police. They put a pedophile around children just to get me for catching pedophiles, and the police
What?
also pretended. Yeah, and the police they also pretended to be a pedophile to catch pedophile hunters. So these pedophile hunters I know were pretending to be kids, and they were meeting up with pedophiles and grabbing them, obviously, and kidnapping them. And the police they pretended to be a pedophile to catch the pedophile hunters. Imagine that, bro. Imagine the people knowing that their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Because you look at the Epstein files. Like, I guarantee you, all these guys that are like on it were like those guys that put you in jail. Like, they're literally doing the same thing. And bro, you're a hero, bro. You turn it, bro. You're a hero. But it is what it is, bro. So, yeah. Thank you so much for the interview. It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro.